The Case of the Vanishing, written as part of the Agora Ed series, a true horrific account of Alberta's healthcare system, how it changed, how money moved, and how transparency faded. This story invites readers to ask big questions. Where does public money go? Who gets it? And why does it matter when the truth hides in the shadows? Alberta Healthcare Policy 2022 to 2025. Fact check this. I dare you. It began with the media announcements. Alberta spending record amounts on healthcare, said the officials. They repeat it like a chant. $9,000 per person. But late at night, in hospital halls, nurses and health workers whispered something different. They said the money was vanishing, and no one could see where it went. A wise old group called CIHI kept the real records. Their books showed the truth. The government spent about $6,600 per person, but people were paying another $2,700 themselves for dentists, glasses, and medicine. So the $9,000 wasn't a lie. But it wasn't the full truth either. It was a number made of fog, part public, part private. The government said it wanted faster care and more choice, so it opened the doors to private clinics. Surgeries for knees, hips, and eyes drifted away from hospitals. Private imaging centers hummed like machines in the dark. Even the great public laboratory was handed to a private company called Dynalife. But the machines slowed down and the lines grew long. In 2024, the government bought back the lab for $97.5 million. Then, the lights in the House of Health began to flicker. The dashboards that once showed every truth, how many people were waiting, how many had died, started to fade away. And in their place came brighter headlines, more surgeries, faster ambulances. But the deeper numbers were gone, locked away in the basement where no one could see. In 2025, a new law, Bill 55, turned the lock. It gave the health minister power to guard the doors of data. Another law said people could still ask for information, but the government did not have to show it. The counting continued, but the sharing stopped. The report grew quiet, and silence began to spread like a chill. By 2025, 70% of every healthcare dollar came from the government. The other 30% came from you. That's $12 billion a year out of citizen pockets. Still, the government kept chanting, record spending, record spending. The words echoed through the hospital halls, while the truth whispered from the shadows. Whose money is it? Really? If Alberta had used the same money to hire more staff, open more hospital rooms, and strengthen existing public care, it could have helped everyone more fairly. Instead, it built a system still called public, becoming something else entirely. Alberta didn't stop providing health care. It just changed who gets the money and stopped showing where the money goes. Now the hum heard in overcrowded emergency rooms seems to taunt the suffering masses. Record spending, it cackles, and far away, a quieter voice of protest questions. But whose money is it? Really? Why is this a spooky story, even though it's true? Why is hiding information dangerous for the public? If you were in charge, how would you keep healthcare fair and transparent? Now that you know, what will you do to defend it? Alberta Healthcare Data and Policy Changes, 2022 to 2025. You okay with this?
Epilogue. Alleged corrupt care collapses under the weight of the privatized clinical healthcare. Alleged insider companies received a $70 million bailout. Even more chilling, insiders say that employees at the public health system were pressured to approve the original sweetheart privatization deals. One insider alleges she was ready to expose the inflated contracts 2 days before A meeting with the province's Auditor General, Athena Mentalopoulos, head of Alberta Health Services, was dismissed, fired, silenced, homes of business owners whose companies landed. Huge contracts are traced to the Premier's personal circle. The Minister of Infrastructure resigns over his concerns regarding the scrutiny of Alberta outsourcing of health and infrastructure services. He remains a sitting UCP MLA. He calls out again for a closer look, and the UCP expel him. Him being MLA, Peter Guthrie remains as an MLA, serving his Airdrie Cochrane constituents as an independent, politically isolated, yet active in legislature. The corrupt care scandal inquiry is still pending for the review. If the public insists our money is all gone, who is responsible? Ask the question.